Hello and welcome to the High Altitude Investing live stream. Today is January 10th of 2019. We're going to be starting off with the WXYXZ Bitcoin wave count and then going into requested and preferred altcoins. Awesome. Looks like we are live and the stream health is good. So it's going to be a really quick stream today, about 15 minutes, and then we'll go from there. But just wanted to make sure that you guys are updated on the crypto markets in general. I have been posting a lot in my Discord recently, little charts and just talking with people in there. So make sure that you click in the description of this video and join the Discord, or head over to my Twitter account where you guys can find this data and information on the Discord here. So just go ahead and click Discord link and then you guys can go from there. Let's just see how the stream health is doing. Welcome. Let's go on to the short term really quick with Bitcoin specifically, just on the 15-minute candlesticks. Looks like we do have a pretty nice rejection off the top of this wedge right here, falling back closer down to the center. We do have a nice oversold condition here with the MACD over a negative 52 in the oversold conditions, but I would not be surprised if we see a couple more dips down right here. This looks like this would be the top of the wave count, the pivot point, and we need to see probably one more curl like this to just jab and scare everybody out of the market on the short term before it would see some type of reversal on the 15-minute candlesticks. If we go over to the 4-hour though, and then we drop down into this and just kind of scroll like that, you guys can see that on the 4-hour things are looking a little bit better here for Bitcoin on the short term. We do have a nice potential here of an inverse head and shoulder pattern, but again, I would not be surprised if this right shoulder just jabs a little bit closer down to this lower wick right here and this major support level between 3527 and 3661. That's a really big area of short-term support for Bitcoin. We did reject very nicely off the 786 Fibonacci level, and that is honestly one of the best places to see a reversal on big pictures, is near the 786, which is where we are at right now, between the 786 and the 88%. So that is something I'm really watching closely here. There is 2 more Fibonacci levels that are technically possible to be hit with Bitcoin. That would be actually touching the 88%, which we have not done. We just kind of got close to it, or dropping down to a 95% retracement. Now, personally, you guys, I do not think we will see a 95% retracement in Bitcoin, but there's always potentials and possibilities for that. So just, you know, keep your stop loss near the bottom of the 333 level right here, where the Z wave's at, because if we have a support failure, we're likely to test 3K, and then we could even go for a 95. But you guys, this is a huge bear trend that we've been on all through this year, and you know, every action has an opposite or equal reaction. This is not going to result in nothing. And I see volume coming back in as a very bullish indication. Volume is the very first thing that you see when you're expecting a trend reversal. That's why this 618 level looked so nice to me, and why I figured we'd be able to hold support in this range, because we had that nice capitulation volume at the in February of this year. But obviously we had that support failure at 6.6, and then we went down for the 5.6 level, and then consolidated to the point of pure pain. Everybody got sick of low volatility and started panic selling. So we had this huge capitulation event over the Christmas season and over the holidays, and now we are looking like we are about to jump back up close to the 786 level. My short-term target is around 5,300. That's the resistance that we fell below, and I would not be surprised if we test that before March, but I don't like to be too specific with time frames. I like to give values and areas, because the actual time that it takes to get there, we don't know if there's going to be a consolidation period like we saw right here, where this triangle just took forever and consolidated for what felt like months and months and months, because it was. And then, you know, we've got to see some type of consolidation pattern right here as well. I would suspect like this. for it to climb up, get above the wedge, consolidate with low volatility, and then either reject back down to support and bounce up like that. See, we've got to make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. So it's going to look something like this. Whenever the correction is done, whenever we see the reversal, then we'll see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave come out of that, and it should take us to the next Fibonacci resistance level, and probably even to the next one after that. But either way, we've got a lot of resistance at 56 and 55 that we have to get above before we see those levels. What's up, everybody? Good to see you tuning in today. It's going to be a short one, just short and sweet, talking about Bitcoin and then going into some altcoin requests. Got a lot of stuff going on for the other things I'm working on. Doing a lot of research into 3D printing technology, doing a lot of research into nanotechnology, doing a lot of research into operating systems, how to build them from the ground up, how to hire large amounts of devs to work on something. Big goals, and they take a lot of reading, a lot of networking, and a lot of thinking, and a lot of planning, and a lot of calculation. And so because of that, I'm going to do a 15-minute live stream today, but don't worry, you guys, we've got more HAI content coming. And if you guys aren't in the Discord, join the clan right here in the description or on my Twitter account right here. I just posted a little advertisement video to join the Discord. You guys can join in for free. And then once you're inside, if you refer a friend, they essentially what happens is you make 100% of the sale. So say you've got a friend that really wants to get into crypto and you're already inside my group. So you're like, okay, I like what Dallin's doing. I like what he's about, but I want my friend to join. So then you have him click this link, and then all you have to do is get on Discord and DM me your Bitcoin address and DM me the name of who bought it. And then that way I can go over to my Selly account, make sure that they purchased it, and then send you the profit for the sale. The reason I'm doing this is because I see a lot more value in growing the group. And I already have a very, very exclusive class called the Mastermind. So the 1 year in the lifetime I want to expand upon and help as many people as we can get into trading and into investing and start to have signals and the basic videos and tools to get profiting in these markets, because 2019 is not going to be as big of a troll as 2018 was. We're going to see a lot better conditions after the volatility kind of evens out. I think that we'll have some low volatility all kind of through the beginning of this year, because that's generally what would happen, is you'd expect a consolidation period after a large bear market and a large bull market, similar to the amount of consolidation that we saw in 2015. This, you guys, I watched this cycle happen. I first heard about Bitcoin somewhere around here. It was like $400, $300 per coin. I first invested in Bitcoin in 2015. And this is where I actually got into buying Bitcoin because of an Andreas Antonopoulos podcast with Joe Rogan. So this was, started purchasing Bitcoins in this area, and it consolidated. So I expect a consolidation period, and then that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave to kind of pick up and take us to the next resistance levels before we go into another cycle. So again, that would look maybe something like this. Comes back down for like a double bottom, and then you get your first breakout to resistance and a fifth wave. We obviously don't know exactly how this is going to look, but we do know that the best strategy for playing Bitcoin right now is to invest a certain percentage of your monthly income in it every single month. So just take 25% and put it in Bitcoin or whatever you can afford. Obviously, the more the better, especially with how much everything's dropped, but just keep accumulating and keep averaging in. For me, the correction destroyed a lot of us, and owning a business in cryptocurrency during 2018 was one of the hardest things I've ever experienced in my entire life. The amount of stress that I got, just, I really care about my VIPs, and I really, really care about all my viewers. And when you have 25,000 subscribers and over 1,000 students, and a bear market comes around, it really, really weighs on you. It starts to play with your emotions a little bit. You start to really, really work hard and think big picture and make all your plans and really, really try and work towards a full understanding of what you can do to provide value for them and how you can help them in these times. And honestly, it drove me crazy, essentially. It put me into a really, really intense state of mind where I was overanalyzing myself and overanalyzing everything around me. And I suffered some consequences of that financially and emotionally. And, we're still coming back from that, and I'm still coming back from that. And that's why I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. I'm never going to stop uploading. I'm always going to be working towards my goals and my passions so that we can all be more profitable and less concerned about our finances and less concerned about whether our computers are getting hacked and less concerned about whether people are stealing things from other people, and start worrying about the real issues in this world, like the fact that we produce 15 times more food than we need to feed every mouth on earth, yet there's still people starving. So this is some of the things that I've been thinking about. And I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry for not uploading, because I had to, spend some time in a hospital and reevaluate myself. And I honestly think that I've hit rock bottom in my life in the past. And I know what it is like. I know how it feels. I know how it makes you reprioritize. And I just want you guys to know that rock bottom isn't the end of anything. It's usually the beginning of a lot of amazing things to come. So if you have felt depression from this phase in the market cycle, that's literally what this is called in the market cycle chart on the Wall Street cheat sheet, is the depression phase of the market cycle. We can look at this. I've shown it 10 million times, but we'll just go over it one more time here before I go get some coffee and start working on some of my other projects here. This right here, you guys, depression. My retirement money is lost. How can we pay for all this new stuff? I am an idiot. If you're feeling like that right now, stop being so hard on yourself. This is literally how the majority of the market is going to feel. That's why there's volume coming back in, is because people are either selling or doing ridiculous things because of the market cycle. If you go research what happened to the internet bubble, I don't really want to talk in too much detail what people did, but there was some gruesome and things that really shouldn't be talked about, honestly, that happened because of the crash of the internet bubble. And the same thing happened with crypto and Bitcoin. And you guys, the fact that we're in the depression phase of the market cycle right now means that there's hope. That means that we can see brighter days, because all the pain, all the struggle has already happened. All the craziness. I heard so many stories about things happening, ransomware, all these things, and that's just a perfect example of what happens in a despair or depression phase of a market cycle. And this is why we all need Bitcoin and a world currency, because what happens when you have a world currency is it will grow to the point of stability. The concept is that we can get reduction in volatility in its cycle, because so many people will be using it that it will become as stable as the full economy becomes. So that's kind of why a one world currency like this and cryptocurrency is such a good idea, is because we can get stability in our economy. And yeah, there'll be cycles along the way and people do crazy things over money, it's true. But as we all come together and focus on this one thing, I believe we can all be fighting for the same cause, like cryptocurrency, art, and music. And maybe, just maybe, we can leave a world for our children and for the future that is more beautiful than the one that we have today. And so that's what I'm fighting for. That's why I wake up every morning. That's why I do what I do. And I hope that you guys are on the same page with me, because we all need to really come together now more than ever if we want to see the world become a beautiful place that we can have, a heaven on earth. I really believe that's possible. So, but it's going to take change. It's going to take coming together. It's going to take a lot of rethinking the ways that we do things now. It's going to take younger people in politics instead of purely older people. We need to have a lot of younger influence in what happens, and there needs to be a lot more distribution of wealth, and there needs to be less people on the other side of the planet starving. And if we can get those things figured out, and we can make sure that ourselves are financially stable, then we can maybe shoot for the stars and see what's out there in space. So that's, that's what the depression phase of the market cycle did to me. I really hit rock bottom, but it caused me to reprioritize, just like I did when I was living in the shack way back. I'm sure a lot of people know me from the shack days, and like, it's the same thing happened again. You just hit absolute rock bottom, but there's always hope from that cycle, and that's why I'm here today to talk about that. You guys got any altcoin requests? Yeah, a lot of people are going to be shorting on the short term right now, which is cool. There's a lot of resistance at the 786. So if you're shorting to try to nail a double bottom right here, or maybe you already took short positions, that's cool. But I'm not much of a day trader. I find this little short term stuff to be noise. So I'm focusing on what's happening right here. So the only tool I really like to use is Elliott waves and Fibonacci, because then I know if we're getting close to these lower, specifically these right here. Anything below the 618 is really juicy. And if you're doing swing trades, a lot of people buy the 50%. As you can see, the 50% was tested right here, and then it went all the way up to the 382 before it went for the 618. So you can use those fib levels to do these bigger picture 2 to 3 month swing trades cycles, and that's a lot easier and makes a lot more sense than trying to do day trading. But I'm not talking shit on day trading. If you are a day trader, props to you. If you know how to make money doing it, awesome. It's not my style. It's not my strategy. It's not what I teach. But that's just, if you're shorting right now, it's probably more of a day trading thing. Or maybe you've been shorting since these major resistance levels and you're starting to scale out of your position because you're smart enough to realize that we're near the 786 and the 88%. So there's got to be a reversal. Yeah, let's check over Digibyte. Digibyte is very easy to trade. It looks so simple. Let me just show you what happened here. Basically, all you do is you grab the previous cycle. So you go over here on the left and you grab bars pattern, and you just select from here to here. And then you grab it, and all you got to do I always have melodies stuck in my head 24/7. I like Alan Watts a lot, from a philosopher's perspective, and he said that in another life he would be a musician if he could. And for me, to be honest with you, the original reason that I created HAI way back in the day when I was like 17 years old was so that I had enough extra money to buy music equipment. But now I've moved on to some really, really big ideas because I can do music in my studio whenever I want to. Okay, there we go. That's close enough. So that's just showing you how market cycles repeat. This is what I expect to happen with Digibyte if we can get some volume to come back in this capitulation area. Obviously, when things are accumulated, the big whales do not like to make it look easy to see where the bottom is. So they buy teeny bits and pieces over and over and over. But I do suspect a repeat in the Digibyte market cycle, similar to the one that we saw right here. So we could see new all-time highs for it. It would be pretty highly volatile if we did see that. That's kind of why I suspect more of a consolidation period like this. Not necessarily lower lows, but just a bigger consolidation period than the last one before we really go in for another ramping cycle. What's up? What's up? All right, I am over time and my car is running out of gasoline because it's been running the entire time. So I'm going to have to head out today, but you guys hop in the Discord, be talking in there, check out what I'm doing with Blockchain OS. Please go look at these right here on my, let's see, please join the Discord right here on my Twitter, and then once you're inside, check out my intentions and check out my first draft of a white paper for Blockchain OS, and comment on this video if you enjoyed it, if you learned something. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I seriously love all of you guys, and we'll see you guys in my next videos. As always, stay profitable out there.